Fantastic. Let's begin this stream for this week. Because this week is going to be a bit of a thicker talk about. Because not only do we have a lot of really fun manga stuff going on, but also, as you can see, that I'm on the border of 1,000 subscribers. You know, a pretty fair milestone for a small channel like mine. So that's going to be pretty nice. Definitely looking forward to how this is going, looking forward to the progression that we're seeing, and as well as the conversations that are, going forward from here. So one second, let me throw out some links, talk to people what's going on, see how everyone else is doing, and just have a general discussion, as we usually do, on what goes on every week within manga in general, especially a lot of these big ones that have been having super consistent manga chapters lately. I've been really happy about that. One second. It's got about 2 more things to send out, and then we can start getting to the discussion. I definitely have a lot to talk about this week in regards to Black Clover. We got a big explosion of information going on right now with some really nice chapters for, My Hero Academia, Eden Zero. We had some really nice for Jujutsu Kaisen. Chainsaw Man was a lot of fun. There seems just to be a lot of really good stuff this week. I don't think there was anything really boring in any of the chapters other than One Piece. But, that's all that I kind of really got out of it. Everything else I thought was a lot of fun. What's going up? Zach Stevens, Broly Power Maximum, thanks for the subscription. Yeah, I'm so close, just 8 off. Elric, how's it going? JK Network, how's it going? You're right. I haven't seen you in a while. How's it going, dude? Joshua Light, hello. So how's everyone going on right now? How's the grand scheme of things? How's everything going on? There's a wait a minute. JK Network, it's not Rex, it's Rax. Come on. I will let this slide just this once. Yeah, I'm rearing up, and let me read some of these really quick. Drakken Joe is basically Crocodile of Eden Zero, gangster with tons of money connections. I'm hoping that Drakken Joe is going to be much more of a business and money over everything else. Like he'd be willing to help Shiki in a lot if it meant profit out of it. Not like a total villain, but more of like a scummy dude who, anything that will give him profit, he's going to be going for. I think William should die for this arc. Potentially, there was, I don't remember who I was talking about, the potential that the reason that William maybe has that burn on his face, maybe at some point before he was born, maybe something happened when the resurrection magic happened when he was affected, maybe while his mother was still pregnant with him, that maybe he got affected by something of the other dimension, and that's why he has that burn, similar to what Yami has on his arm. Don't know. It's definitely a very something that maybe or maybe not, because we don't know if it would affect him, before birth. But if it did, it holds a large possibility of some more weird shenanigans going forward. Sugar Cat here. What's up, Sugar Cat? I don't think I've seen you in my streams before. How are you? How's it going? If you've never been to these streams before, anybody that's here, it's mostly discussion. We have the set topics, the bigger things that happen in the week. Just usually the bigger kind of conversations are, for me at least, what's going on in either Fairy Tail or Black Clover. But even if it's not related to either of those, it's a different series that you want to ask me a question about, or maybe you want to recommend, just put it out there. It's not restricted to what's in the title. Those are just the main topics. That's just really as the main thing to really go for. You've been binge watching Gundam Seed. I don't remember. I think I've only seen like 2 Gundams, and I don't remember what they are. But one of my friends is like a huge Gundam dude, and he's always trying to get me to watch Gundams. I actually want to watch that Build Fighter one, because I think that's like the perfect idea for a Gundam series, because it's Gundam fans doing mini Gundam battles by expressing their love of Gundams. I just always thought that idea was really interesting, really funny, but at the same time, just a nice nod to the idea of the franchise itself. Do you think the actor from Captain Marvel Endgame made me cry? My favorite character died, Mr. Stark. Wait, what? Wait, do you like that? No, I don't like Brie Larson. Brie Larson she seems super obnoxious and very smug, and every single time I see her talk, she comes off as such a rude person. Like, if you watch the interviews with her and the other cast members, you can tell they don't like her. She's probably really snarky, probably very full of herself. I don't know. I don't know how she can be so rude. No idea. No idea what she's doing there. Well, Cobra and Shuda were completely evil, and they started out as SACE members. As Drakken Joe will be the same. Well, I don't know. Cobra was pretty much a villain. He's a dark guild. He didn't really care about killing and going on, and so was Shuda working for Demon Card. They were pretty villain-like. Obviously, they turned. Drakken Joe. Drakken Joe, I'm hoping he's not like a switched over to be a good guy. I like him more of the idea of him being a bad guy that you can trust only in the idea if you think the outcome is in his best interest. Not like, oh, yeah, he's our friend now. More like he would profit out of this. He would benefit. So, we don't have to worry about him turning on us unless somehow some other enemy like paid him to switch on you. Very dangerous. So touched by Ninja Williams, touched by Demon. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like maybe it had to do something with the fact that when he went into Williams' body, it became a part of him, maybe before birth, that it affected his still growing self back when he was a fetus and stuff. Very curious about that. Why would you spoil that film? What film? Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that. Why would you say the endgames, all stuff in the chat? Don't do that. Don't do spoilers, guys. I mean, I don't really care too much about Endgame, but I know some people do. So don't spoil stuff for people that haven't seen it, because obviously this is opening weekend. I mean, it'd be different if it was like a week or two from now, but obviously some people haven't seen it. Don't be spoiling Endgame. I don't know. I'll watch it when I can rent it off YouTube or watch it on Netflix. I'm just not that hyped because I knew what was gonna happen in the movie. Like I asked somebody who did see it afterwards. Yeah, don't spoil Endgame. Nobody spoil Endgame. I asked somebody about it. Everything that I pretty much, well, mostly, not everything. A lot of the things that I predicted came true. And again, it's not. I'm not gonna hate on people who want to see the movie. I'm just saying I wasn't too interested in the movie. I am so much more interested in watching Godzilla. I'm pretty hyped for Godzilla. Godzilla looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. I just want to see some sick giant monster fights. And the one thing about Godzilla I'm really interested. Sorry, just stuttered there. Interested in is the fact that it looks like they're gonna get to the kaiju pretty early. Like, even if it's like a third to halfway in the film and then lots of giant monsters are going around doing stuff, it looks like it's going to be in a state to where Earth is going to be having all these kaijus pop up, and it's going to live in like a post-apocalyptic kind of world where all these kaiju are flying around, which I think would be really cool to add an extra flavor to it. Like, not really like the Rapture apocalypse, but you just have like the worry about kaiju showing up someplace. Kind of like Pacific Rim, but much more in a post, like, most of the planet is in complete and total, like, disarray at this point. I think that'd be really cool, because it's not like, because, like, Pacific Rim, they came out of a specific spot in the ocean, right? But in Godzilla, it's more like they're scattered around the world, all sleeping somewhere. So you could just get one randomly. You could just be some dude, like, hanging out at Mount Rushmore, getting pictures, and bam, out there pops a kaiju. I don't know a lot of the kaiju, so I can't say, but you know what I mean. I think that's a really cool idea that they can have. I mean, I don't know a ton of Godzilla lore, but I do know that there's a complete assload of kaijus to pop out, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Let me catch up. Let me catch up with some of these. What's up, Mike? How's it going? What do you think? Wait, what do you look for in a shonen rival? Shonen rival to me is, as long as they have a cool foil, something to kind of have chemistry with the main character, is really what I'm looking for in a rival. And as long as it's like, as well as them actually feeling like rivals. And I don't want to have to poke, he's a very easy comparison or example is Deku and Bakugo, because they don't feel like rivals a lot of the time. Deku usually, they can kind of portray him as being equal sometimes, but Deku just seems so absurdly far ahead of him. And like their relationship verbally is like Bakugo trash talks the shit out of him, and then Deku's just like, I know you don't mean it, buddy. And it's just like, why are you putting up with this dude? Why don't you just humble the shit out of him? I like a rivalry that feels like they're actually like rivals, and for them to actually have good, an interesting chemistry between them as, say, quote unquote rivals. I really like Asta and because they have a very brotherly rivalry going on, to where they act completely different talking to each other than they do other people. You have Asta, who's usually pretty humble, and he's very nice. And the second he talks, he's like bragging about accomplishments he's done, and just trying to flex on him. And who's very calm and collected, very emotionally secure. And then the second he's near Asta, he just starts like teasing him and making fun of him and messing with him. I always thought that was just a really good rivalry between the two. There's lots of really good rivalries out there. Obviously, I think the best one, in my opinion, is Yugi and Kaiba. That's definitely my favorite in shonen. Yeah, what's up, Mike? How's it going, dude? Well, Cobra cared for his guild mates and his snake. He really just cared for Cubelius, but he didn't know Cubelius was actually a thick-ass chick. Do you think the Demon Ass's book is Nero older brother with Nero? So I actually had a thought earlier of maybe like what if the creature in Asa's grimoire is Nero, but like a different form? Like that's just what she'd been portraying herself as or something, and that's why she's like so close to Asa all the time. I don't know. There's definitely a lot there that I'm very much curious over, because we're in a spot right now in Black Clover, legitimately, that we're probably going to get some big bombshell every single week until this arc is over. Just a lot of really cool stuff, and I'm super stoked about it. We're probably next week we're going to get like a comment about Nero talking to the demon in Ash's grimoire, or name dropping the devil that they're talking to right now. There's a lot right now that could come out and really open up a lot of doors within Black Clover. And I talked about in my review that a lot of the things being wrapped up right now, it's like Tabata is he's leading everything that he had before this, he leaving out different Easter eggs, or not Easter eggs, breadcrumbs and different aspects all around the series, and now they're starting to tie together. But now I think he's also laying out stuff that we haven't really noticed yet that will come into play later on, like in an arc or two, and then bam, something's going to happen, and we're going to look back and be like, oh shit, this was foreshadowed, this was dropped information here. There's a lot for us to really look at, and again, definitely looking forward to a lot of this stuff coming out, because the thing is, a lot of big shonen authors, they have a lot of problems, not like bad problems, but I'd say like some decent issues you could tell of. Maybe some things don't hold up as much early compared to later on, because they don't plan, like, they don't assume that their series is going to become a smash hit. But I feel like Tabata very much, like, because he had Hungry Joker and that got canceled. I feel like with Black Clover, he planned out way further ahead, and he was just like, if this doesn't go, then whatever. Just put a ton of effort into all that, getting ready, which was very much liking. I really like Tabata. You can tell he's definitely got a lot thought up. He's got a lot planned out and is ready for a ton of stuff to come out. Like he said, he's fully ready for the series. Like as long as they'll let him to make it as long as One Piece or Naruto. I mean, he could do it. Like everything that we've had so far is really just leading up to chapter 200 or so. It's probably going to go to like 210, 215. And if he does something similar, like he has, here's the story arc, and here's a couple arcs that all tie into it, and then, stretch that into around like another 200 chapters, he could definitely do it. Like, Tabata is definitely skilled. He knows what he's doing. He's got plans laid out, and you got to give him credit for that. Definitely got to give him credit for that. Yeah, definitely looking forward to Godzilla. That's gonna be so awesome. Who here still goes to the movie theaters? I actually like going to the movie theaters, Sugar Cat. My only thing right now that I decided about the movies is, I remember I went to watch the last How to Train Your Dragon movie, because I'd seen the first two, and they're very enjoyable movies. Wait, no, not How to Train Your Dragon. It was Incredibles 2. Same kind of situation where I watched it, and I was like, I can't not watch it. Like I enjoyed this movie so long ago, and I want to know what happens. And I went there, but it was like a lot of people brought their. It's a family movie, so it's a lot of people brought their kids, and I forgot what it's like to be in a movie theater with a ton of young kids, and I hated it. Nothing against. I don't hate the poor kids, but they obviously don't have any mind of like not talking at the movies, like during the movie. And I kept getting so frustrated. So that's like my only thing about the movies. It's like I don't like to go to big family ones because I know people are gonna fucking talk the whole time. That's like my only thing about the movies. I enjoy going to the movies. I think I have a good time. I always plan to spend a decent amount because I know obviously it's like what, like $12 for a movie. Popcorn is like $8. A soda's like $6 or some shit. It's pretty expensive. But I always plan about that. That's why I try not to go too much. The next movie I'm going to see is definitely Godzilla. Catzilla. That's what my cat is like sometimes. Yeah, Samurai 8 is coming at the next, the week after Golden Week, essentially. Definitely gonna read that. I'm very curious of what the main character is gonna be like, what his rival's gonna be like, what the world is gonna be like in general. I like the cool, like, tech samurai. I think it's kind of cool. I'm wondering what his fighting style is gonna be like, too. Is he gonna be some weird robotic swordsman where he's like, I just kind of imagine some General Grievous stuff where, he's got a katana and he's like spinning it with like a rotary on his hand. That's going to be a lot of fun. By the way, actually, noticed the leg girl, Maria, has the same name as Jimmy Loft's weapon. Yeah, I saw that. I'm wondering, well, I guess we can assume that he named it after, so wondering what she's going to be like. I wonder if she actually knows. I wonder actually also how long Hacker Spider is going to, is gonna be able to live, because I feel like that after the last couple chapters that Drakken Joe is gonna have like a moment of just like showing his intimidation levels by just like ruthlessly killing the dude, just completely laying him out. Maybe get a demonstration of whatever his power is, if he's gonna have ether gear, if he's gonna stick with alchemy as his title, and maybe have some like crazy space potions with like different bits of aliens throughout space. There's a lot to him that had a lot of potential, rather, both personality and power wise. He's got a lot of interesting aspects that we might see coming soon, and especially the next chapter definitely seems like it's going to be more focused on him, the smell of money. So we're probably going to get to see a lot of like his personality and how he conducts himself. Going to be good stuff. Austin, and Fake Lick working together. And First Wizard King coming back, Black Clover #1. Yeah, dude, it's going to be so awesome. It's going to be also really cool is Austin and Yuno are going to be there, and they're pretty much going to watch, like, a battle with two also rival characters, legends, legendary caliber characters, and they're just going to be getting ready, and you're going to get to see just what these guys are capable of, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So get hyped, get super hyped for what's going on there. Definitely going to be, it's not only that, we're gonna see a lot of like, damn, we're gonna get to see these guys active. We're gonna see like what the caliber is of two legendary class mages are like. And actually, kind of looking back, I'm just looking at the chapter itself. Has anyone noticed, really quick, has anyone else noticed this? Because you look at all the clouds, and they're the same kind of dark gray color. Do you see that cloud, that really small one? It's like, not it's I want to get a good position of it. It's like a third of the way to the left, and it's like white. It kind of looks like a little energy attack going towards the capital. I might just be looking at something and assuming, but I don't know. I feel like that's one of those things that Tabata would do. Like maybe there's an extra character going there. Does anyone else see that? It's like you look at halfway in the mountain, like going up. It's like halfway, and then like part way to the left of the center. I don't know. I might just be like assuming because it's like the same color as the light beam, and you can see the light beam is definitely different in the clouds, and you can see that little blot is different from the clouds as well. I don't know. I'm curious if anybody else has noticed this. 1 second. Okay, back to it. Sorry, I was typing something out. I don't know if that was too loud. Yeah, the Mount Rushmore thing. Samurai Samurai 7 may be a similar name, but I have no idea how Samurai 8 will be until the first chapter's out. The only thing, obviously, I've been able to deduct is the main character, Hachimaru, obviously Hachi meaning 8. I'm wondering maybe he'll be, because Samurai 8, do you think that it'll be about maybe a group with 8 samurai, or it'll be Samurai 8, and the name Hachi, because maybe he'll use 8 swords. And that was the thing in Naruto that was super cool that kind of got wasted. Do you remember that whole scene when we first really got to see Killer Bee and he fought Team Taka, and he just had 8 swords all in weird ass places, and how cool Killer Bee made that work? That's one of those things in Naruto I really missed. Is like compared to like later in the game, like when it was just like big energy attacks. One second again. Okay, sorry, I keep getting messages. So basically, a half-powered first Wizard King is faster than Patriot. Yeah, definitely. Well, at least we don't know if it's, maybe he's not faster. Maybe he can just hold out that light speed travel much further. Like, 'cause we don't know exactly the length that Patriot could use it, because we just know he's been able to use it. We've only seen him do it from like short range, like 20, 30 feet. We saw him kind of shoot towards the capital, but we didn't see him do it at if it was just literally flying or if it was at light speed. This is definitely, because it took him a fair while. That's why I'm kind of wondering if like it was actually light speed. Here we just see like grab light spear, throw, and bam, we're there. Pretty crazy stuff. Now, Mechagodzilla kills everyone not named Thanos. Mechagodzilla, I don't know a lot about Godzilla, but I always really like Space Godzilla. I just love the design of it with those big crystals on it. I always thought that was awesome. Who is more intimidating, Devil or Acnologia? I would say Acnologia, purely based on the fact that we know that literally nothing else on the known planet could take him. Like, they had all these different things. Like, keep in mind something like the Dragon Cry. The Dragon Cry was a magic weapon that had the concentrated energy to wipe out a continent over 10,000 kilometers wide, and it was made of fodder to human form Acnologia. I mean, I'd say that the devil is definitely very intimidating, but Acnologia was just like a straight, like, they called him the Ender of Eras in the Black Dragon of the Apocalypse for a reason. Like, he shows up and you're done. Like, at that point, the only reason they were able to defeat him, obviously, there were a bunch of variables combined, which I've talked about before. The fight was too short, just because I know someone will probably ask me. The fight was too short, but the way that they beat him made a lot of sense, and that's something that I've always been very much standing for and standing behind. Is it made sense, and they didn't. And it didn't de-hype him. Really quick, before I get back to the comments, actually, let me catch up with the comments and then see if anybody else is, know what I'm talking about. We'll just watch a couple episodes of Kimetsu no Yaiba. Would recommend the manga. Yep, I would recommend the manga. Manga's pretty solid, too. The Devil's Spell is going through the whole Shadow Realm. Yeah, it's not looking good for everyone. Yeah, I'm wondering how many of them he has. Like, if it's if we're gonna see a lot of maybe he'll use other monsters or whatnot. Maybe we'll see maybe like a giant skeleton or some shit. I don't know, something really cool. I really like the creepiness of the big weird slug monster. If Goku was the next Omni King, would you be happy or mad? See, my opinion of Dragon Ball Super is that I don't like how they're not doing a lot of original stuff. Like, I like the Broly movie because the Broly movie was, like, it was pretty much Broly was the main character, and Goku and Vegeta felt like antagonists in a way. And it was a very different change of pace, and it was able to get a pretty good story across while still having a lot of good action. The current arc started out really good in the manga, but it's so slow. Like, the last, 3 chapters, they've just been on Namek, and, Boo shows up, and he's somehow able to fight Moro when Moro was able to, completely smack around Goku and Vegeta in their blue forms. I don't remember if he fought Goku. I know he fought Vegeta. I'm just like, how is Boo in any way a contender at this point? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know, if Goku became... I feel like if Goku became the Omni King, he would like kill himself or something. Because what would he have left to do at that point? That's kind of the thing with Goku, though, because Goku's entire lifestyle is fighting strong people, and that's like everything he strives for. So after that, like, what is he gonna do? I'm a little confused about that. I'm a little bit confused, like, because it's not like someone like Natsu who really wants to go on adventures and just have fun, like, because there's like other dimensions and time travel and shit and all this other crazy stuff. But like Goku, if he becomes Omni King, like, what is he gonna do with his life? He's just gonna be bored as hell. Oh, hang on, I don't want to skip over anything. God, where's my spot at? God, I'm so far behind. Here we go. So Asta, Noel, Nero. I'm actually very curious to what Nero is gonna be like when actually interacting with Asta. I think we should get more pages for Samurai 8, but I'm happy Kishimoto is back. Yeah, I think. Did they say what Samurai 8's release is going to be? If it's going to be weekly, monthly, bi-weekly? I'm hoping bi-weekly. 1 second. Because something... Oh my god, super loud in the background. I hope you guys can't hear that. You probably can, but just ignore it. Anyway, I'm wondering if... Oh my god. Why is it so loud? Is that easily detectable in the back? I feel like it is. I can see the volume bar moving. It's almost over. It's from my cat stuff. But anyway, I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. No, I don't remember. I think I was just talking about Nero. Yeah, I'm very curious to know how Nero's gonna play into things. I lost my train of thought. God damn it. Oh, Samurai 8. I'm hoping it's going to be bi-weekly, because legitimately, like, Fairy Tail has been super solid. I don't think we've had a bad chapter of 100 Years Quest as bi-weekly, and then you look at Boruto and Dragon Ball Super, and they're just so slow-paced. The mangas are so slow-paced, and the animes have so much filler, and they drag stuff out. I'm, again, hoping for bi-weekly. Either bi-weekly... No, actually just bi-weekly. Just make it bi-weekly. Probably won't be, but still. Sorax for matchups, I think Shiki versus Drakken Shell, Rebecca versus the Cowboy, Hamara versus Mario, and Wise versus the Big Guy. That'd be a good one. I think maybe switching around is maybe Hamura versus the Big Guy and Wise versus Mario. He just feels like he's going to get in that position where he's always fighting chicks. I don't know. I just had that feeling about it. Do you think 100 Years Quest chapter still will come this week, even though it's Golden Week? I do. Because I think bi-weekly and monthlies don't follow that same schedule. I don't imagine so. Because I don't think they're going to go a month without putting out a chapter. I don't know. It's just what I feel. I don't think there's going to be... I feel like there's going to be a chapter this week. Because it's different when it's bi-weekly, because they have a week off every time. So, they have a longer schedule. I think Golden Week, a lot of the times, for like weekly stuff, obviously they get a week off because they work so much. But I don't know. I could be wrong. I haven't been... Obviously, a year ago, I didn't have to worry about bi-weekly series and Golden Week. But now, I guess after this next few days, we'll know. There should be one. I'm really hoping there is. I don't want to wait another 2 weeks to find out what happened. That'll hurt my chest. 72 pages on the 12th. That's going to be awesome. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I was so salty when I found out the Kubo announcement was just he's drawing characters for Soccer Wars and not a new manga. I was pretty salty about that. I thought Kubo was finally coming back. I want Kubo to be like, so I mean, like a lot of these older like big success manga people, Hiramashima, Akira Toriyama, Masashi Kishimoto, a lot of them are taking up like an apprentice and then training them while doing their work. Akira Toriyama's got Toyotaro doing Dragon Ball Super. I don't know the name of the guy who's doing Boruto, but obviously he was one of Kishimoto's assistants. And Mishima's got Ueda doing Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest. I wish Kubo would do that, and that's what I wish that fucking Togashi would do for Hunter x Hunter. Like, I don't really care for Hunter x Hunter. I mean, it's never my series, never was too into it, but I feel bad for the fans. I feel bad for all the readers that they wait like a year, and then they get like 4 or 5 chapters where it's like barely drawn. That's gotta suck. Like, he can write it. He doesn't have to draw it. It's super confusing. I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't feel like it. Are you reading Magi Adventures of Sinbad? If not, you should really. It's good. I don't know. I liked Magi until that long flashback arc, and then they came out of it, and it was like a time skip, and then it was like the Jetsons, and Sinbad was president, and they tried to do a lot of weird philosophical god stuff. I don't know. I liked it better when it was like dungeons, and you know, they were fighting between kingdoms, and you had all these monsters around. I thought that was better. It kind of got weirder. And I wasn't personal opinion. I wasn't a fan of what they were doing at the time. Just my opinion. That's what someone told me in my preview review. I'm very happy about that. Oh, with Samurai 8, yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it. I like the movie theater. Oh god, how far am I behind? I'm gonna see Detective Pikachu in the evening this week when it comes out. I'm considering that because it looks entertaining. I legitimately, no meme, I legitimately wish that they had Danny DeVito being Pikachu. It just, I know a lot of people started that out as like a joke. I think it would work better. I think it would just sound a lot more like the idea of like this Pikachu being this like grungy old detective. Plus, Danny DeVito's voice is just delightful. He's just a good guy. I don't know. I don't blame you. I hate families. What? Do you see Avengers Endgame? I did not see Avengers Endgame. Kishimoto loves Star Wars, so I wouldn't be surprised if he does something like... Oh, you're talking about General Grievous? God, how far am I behind? I think Nas is going to be the Wizard King. It's either going to be him or Fuego Leon. Because Marileona is not... She's not someone that would stick around in one place like that. And Yami just... Yami doesn't have the personality to be that much of a... Pretty much big... almost political character, you know, also big like cornerstone weapon guy. Plus, I'm wondering how much of a gap there is now, because Nozzle is definitely we know Nozzle has more magic than him, but we don't know if he's a better fighter than Yami. But I don't know. I feel like Fuego Leon is definitely stronger than both of them now that he's got the salamander. How important do you think that Secrets of Eden's ship are gonna be in a hermit? Are gonna give how Hermit said the world can't know to Rebecca. I'm wondering if maybe inside of the room 3713, if there's gonna be maybe some weird treasure or another character or maybe another animal, because so there's the idea that just kind of like theorizing of if there was some form of creature in there that was maybe pretty dangerous. That it could be a new mascot, because we know Pino wants to become a human. She wants, and if she doesn't become human, she's gonna at least get an android body at some point. So they're gonna need a new mascot character if that happens, because you can't just ditch it. Like her whole idea was she was gonna be a mascot character, and then she very much became a pretty big part of the series. From what Hiroshima said, he said he really likes her character. He's got a lot of plans for her. If you had to meet Captain Marvel actor or Iron Man actor, would you pick? I'd pick Iron Man. Why would I not? I would pick Robert Downey Jr. I don't know what he's like in real life, but Brie Larson would just annoy me. So I feel like she'd be one of those people, because given like every time she talks, I feel like she'd be one of those people that would try and relate to me on the color of my skin, and like white people, right? And they'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about, you weirdo?" I know, she annoys me. I find everything she says annoying. Everything that I think Brie Larson has ever come out of her mouth outside of a movie like Scott Pilgrim, well, obviously not every movie. I don't want to watch Captain Marvel. She just annoys me. I don't like her. I'd rather meet Robert Downey Jr. He seems like he'd be a cool guy, and he seems also like that guy. Or if you met him, like you want a sweepstakes, I can go to lunch with Robert Downey Jr. Even if he isn't nice in real life, I feel like he'd be one of those guys that puts on like a pretty much a business persona, and he'd at least be nice to you for the sake of, public appearance and stuff. Brie Larson, I feel like, wouldn't give a fuck, and she'd be rude. Don't like her. Anyone else think Maria looks like Lavilia could be sisters, perhaps? A little bit. What is that? I don't know. I see it. Oh yeah. Oh god, I'm just getting to the part about the weird energy thing I talked about. Did you notice that? Oh, here's Maria's parents. Okay, I read that. If I had a waifu, it would be someone who could stand on equal footing. I don't know what. Oh my god, Killer Bee is bad. God damn it, this is old chat. Who's saying Killer Bee, Rex, Sasuke, Curse Mark, Loser Sasuke versus Black Asta? Is this wait? Curse Mark Form 2 Sasuke. Which for version is this? Part 1, back when he first did it. Is if it's that in the Valley of the End, you know, in his first big fight with Naruto, Asta. But I mean, if it's like late game Sasuke, then obviously Sasuke. Space Godzilla legit. I'm thinking it's the credibilization it has. I know him best from video games. Yeah, I love Space Godzilla. Again, I don't know a lot about Godzilla, but the design alone, I think Space Godzilla is really cool. Oh god, how far am I behind? Wait, I'm not that far. Thoughts on MCU Thanos as a character? He's alright. So the thing about MCU Thanos is the thing about him that was interesting is kind of like the way he was like a dad in some aspects, but they already had that with Vulture. Out of the MCU, my favorite villain is definitely Vulture. Both design-wise and personality was Vulture. Goku being the Omni King pretty much destroys Dragon Ball for me. Yeah, it'd be weird. I don't think I'd like it. Asta's a zombie. This is the reason he has no magic. Maybe. Space Godzilla was the DNA from Biollante that went to space after Godzilla beat it and was a flower infused with Godzilla cells, infused with an asteroid heading to Earth that Mothra failed to stop. What the fuck? Man, Godzilla's got some crazy lore. What the hell? Way too OP to be the Omni King. I actually... This is not really a legit complaint, but it's more of like a confusing complaint. You ever see those articles of like... It's clear clickbait. So I got one where it was just like... Somebody imagines Goku as the Grand Priest, and you'll never believe what he looks like. And then I was like, oh, is it Goku gonna have some cool, weird combo form? And I clicked it, and it's just him wearing the Grand Priest outfit. And I'm like, why? Why is anyone clicking this? This is stupid. You're just lying. You're getting people into obvious, into making it seem good. The same way it was like Ultra Instinct Vegeta. And I was just like, okay, it would just be Vegeta with the Ultra Instinct color. What's the surprise there? I get really salty about some of those clickbaits where it seems like it's gonna be good, but it's literally nothing, and I get super beside myself on those. Samurai 8 manga is Denki with Minato's hair, maybe. That was awesome. Yeah, Godzilla. Right, Beg, do you feel about fighting strong people like Goku? Like, wait, who do you think likes fighting strong people more, Goku, acting like Hisoka? Because Hisoka gets boners over it. He's weird. I've never been a fan of Hisoka. He's always been a little bit too much. I like Chrollo though. Chrollo's that boy. If you had a stand, what would it be? My stand would be called Friendship Journey, and I could turn anyone into being my friend. I love friendship. It's the best. Nero and Asta reaction. Definitely going to be a video. Like, I think legitimately there will be a video on just talking about what it's going to be like when human form Nero goes and talks to Asta, because it's going to be weird, because he's not going to get shit, but she's going to just talk to him like she knows him all, like, because she does know him, but it's going to be like just talking to him like normal, and he's going to be like, who the fuck's this chick who's talking to me? And she's going to be like, it's Nero, and he's just going to be like, you know, Asta's going to freak out. He's going to be like so confused. What's up, Sheridan? How's it going, dude? Goku has no brain if he was the Omni King. So he'd use the Super Dragon Balls to make somebody stronger than him. Maybe that makes... Why wouldn't he just use it to reset everything? Like, that'd be a pretty solid way to end Dragon Ball Super. Like, could you imagine, like, very end of, like, no more Dragon Ball, we're done. And it's like the very end is Goku using the Super Dragon Balls to reset everything, so he goes through it again, and he just lives that life forever. But he doesn't remember, so he's always experiencing, like, the journey. I don't know, I think that'd be a really interesting way to end it. Probably not what's going to happen, though. Kimura's the best girl. I do like Kimura. I really like Kimura's outfit. I like the cool leaves on him. Last Life he's getting to the organizations of the series. Pretty exciting. Yeah, I did my review on it. I have it uploaded. I got to post them. I'll probably post one today or tomorrow. But, yeah, the last Sayuki's pretty interesting. I like this new girl. I think she has a really... There's something about the way that she's drawn I like. I like that initial reaction face when that dude popped that guy's head open. And then her at the end of the latest chapter when she's like sighting and posing from some magical squirrel anime. Something about her face is just very pleasant to look at. It's just something about the art style. I like looking at that character. She seems like she's going to be a lot of fun. I like her clear magical schoolgirl obsession, so it's probably going to be both funny, but at the same time enjoyable to watch, or I guess read. I'm going to like that character. So how's Game of Thrones? But Game of Thrones has been pretty exciting. Tonight's episode looks like it's going to be thick as hell, though, so I'm pretty stoked. I was so happy in the last one when Brienne got knighted, and she looked so happy. Man, I always get really... So what's super annoying... So I had a conversation on Twitter. This was like a week or two ago. And it was like, I was talking to somebody, some annoying SJW, and they were trying to tell me how, like, I bet you'd be real salty if you knew that the most successful manga artist is a woman. And I'm like, why would I care about that? I don't, why would it bother me? I talk about stuff made by, like, manga created by women all the time. It's not a big deal. But I think that the most successful manga artist is Oda. And, like, I got pseudo-corrected that it was Toriyama. And then I looked it up, and then I'm like, no, that's not true. And then I got, like, hated. They're like, I can't believe you are so desperate to be right. And I was like, I'm just looking up stuff. But, yeah, it was really confusing. But I don't understand the idea of some people being like, you just don't like female characters and stuff. I'm like, I don't think that's true. Even, like, again, like, when I was watching Game of Thrones, it was so moving to see Brienne. She was so happy to be knighted. You just saw that look on her face, and she's just like, is this really happening? I never thought the day would come. Again, it was just such a good moment. I was very happy to see her finally get what she wanted. Because she could tell she wanted to be a knight forever, but she didn't think that she could be one because she's a woman. And it was just very good for her. Much fun talking about Chainsaw Man. That's like my recommendation series right now. Like, whenever I talk to people and they're like, man, I need something to read, I always like, have you heard of this thing called Chainsaw Man? Like, I was talking to some people that were like One Piece fans that were pretty salty about the recent chapters. They don't like what's going on in One Piece right now. So I'm like, you guys could really use a change of pace right now. So you might want to check out this interesting little series called Chainsaw Man. It's pretty fucking cool. Definitely a lot of fun there. Loving Chainsaw Man. It's just such a good thing to talk about. I'm pretty sure that Noah will be the key to others escaping from the Shadow Palace. According to Nozzle, they need to get the hell out of there. They need to leave. It's going to be too dangerous. Because that thing is going to pretty much murder anybody that it engulfs. Naruto or One Piece? I definitely take Naruto over One Piece. How good is Demon Slayer? Kimetsu no Yaiba is awesome. You should check it out. Either the anime or the manga, both are good. I meant at the Theater Rex. I hate those films. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not their fault. Like, it's little kids at the movies. Like, I was probably like that when I was younger, so I can't really hate. And, they don't know any better. Goddamn kids. I actually was pretty happy because I went to watch Shazam, and there was, like, some couple near me, and their kid wouldn't stop crying, so they just left. And I was like, that sucks, but I appreciate your consideration towards other people. Definitely was nice of them, but at the same time, unfortunate that they didn't get to watch Shazam. Because that was a good movie. Had fun. Shippers are insane sometimes. Yeah, shippers are annoying. So shipping... My whole view on shipping, it's like, if you have two characters where it's like, hey, they might have chemistry. Okay, yeah, shipping them is fine. Or if it's like characters are a thing, and they just maybe haven't fully happened yet. Okay, it's fine. But I'm so annoyed of when it's like two characters looked at each other once and people ship them. And it's like, you aren't doing this because you think it's, good for the story. You're doing it because you want to gush over some potential hentai that you could hopefully create. Goddamn weirdies. Goddamn weirdos. I got really mad at one of my friends. So one of my friends, he's going through Fairy Tail. He's reading Fairy Tail, and I made a big ass collage. I guess not a collage, like a guide of like the best way to go through the story. And he skipped over Fairy Tail Zero, and I was like, dude, what are you doing? That's super important. It's like, I mean, you could skip a lot of the spin-offs. A lot of the spin-offs are canon, but you can skip them. But Fairy Tail Zero is the one that you can't really skip. It's pretty important. I was super salty about it, and he's like, we just got in a big argument this morning, and I was like, why are you surprised that I'm mad? That's like one of the biggest, like, background pieces in the whole story. We're gonna skip over it. I had to like bitch at this dude for like a half hour and just be frustrated as hell until he went back and did it. I threw like a very small, like, in text, like, fit. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you telling this to me? Why would you ever reveal this to me? Go back. Go and read it. What are you doing? It was pretty funny. It was funny but salty at the same time. Berserk is very dark, Joshua Light, definitely for sure. Shippers mean nothing in One Piece. Characters develop and have a nice relationship as the story goes, and I think a lot of people can just really see that as just a fun thing to be going on the side. And really quick, just while the stream is going, I'd really appreciate it, you guys, if you haven't yet, to maybe share the video, share the link, see if anybody else wants to come chat about stuff, ask some questions, come hang out, and as well as if I'd really appreciate if you'd thumbs up the video, befriend the thumbs up button, the like button, and keep asking questions. I enjoy talking to everybody. I'm 6 subscribers away from 1,000, so I'm wondering if we're gonna be able to hit it within this stream. I'm gonna stream for about about another 45 minutes to an hour. Obviously, Game of Thrones is tonight, so I'm gonna be watching Game of Thrones, and I hope everyone else has a good time watching it as well. So definitely looking forward to that. Looking forward to everything else coming up with it. I would love Iron Man personally. Iron Man would be cool. Iron Man would be really cool to meet too. Maybe Eden Zero ship as a Cerberus, because Cerberus serves the Demon King of the Underworld. Maybe. I would expect them to have something really cool in there, like a monster, or maybe like an experimental weapon. I think it'd be like, because that's just one of those things I feel like is going to be in Eden Zero 2, is, a big weapon, call it Ethereon, and that's like obviously 3713 Ellie reference. And maybe that's like their last ditch weapon, and they have like some big ship destroyer or some big force field or something really cool, some like special weapon in there or something, because it has to be something big enough that they want to keep it a secret, and it can't be something that is going to be a mind-boggling secret that will somehow change the story. It can't be something like very hard or anything, because it's literally in the ship, and they know it's there, and they're going to pass by that door all the time. And we're going to see it as soon as they get the 4 Shining Stars back, so it has to be something special, but not mind-bogglingly special, It can't be too big. Finally going to read Berserk, so what do I do to look forward to besides the ending? Wait, so what do I have to look? Just action, art, what happens what is Guts' decisions, what's going on with Griffith. Dude, Berserk is just a fun ride all the way through. Definitely love Berserk. And I'm looking forward to, it having hopefully a couple consistent chapters before the dude goes on another hiatus. Well, my cat's coming over to say hi. How's it going, girl? Do you see Justice and Colonel Jaguar joining the fray this arc, and could lead to the 3-way battle between them, Easy Crew and Drakken's crew? Definitely, I think that'd be really cool. Because again, what I'm hoping with Drakken Joe is he's not going to be like a just raw evil villain. I'm hoping that he's going to be much more of a, like I said, situational villain, where he's only against people that when it's beneficiary to him, because obviously he's all about profit, and it's going to be good for him going forward. Keep going. Tombat. Oh my god, I know a dude named Tombat Hat, so I kept ringing Undefined Top Hat as Tombat Hat. Sorry about that. What's up, Undefined Top Hat? How's it going? Is Nero going to stay after all this? I hope so. Again, I want to see what Nero's kind of like role in the whole story. Like, is Nero going to be beneficiary to Asa's connection with the demon in his grimoire? Is she going to have some knowledge of maybe where the other swords are? Or maybe she's going to have some connection towards the demon in a way that maybe it will kind of progress Asta's knowledge of what's going on with him, how he got this grimoire. There's a lot that really could hold on for Nero to add to this story, which again I think is going to be a really interesting aspect that we'll see within the next couple chapters. Because like I said, the next couple chapters I think are going to just give us bombshells every single time, because we've consistently got like a lot of big reveals in the last like 10 chapters, and They just keep rolling in, and it's a lot of fun. I already read that. My theory is that Nero is Asta's mother, and she was the one who could drop Asta and off the church in her human form. I don't know. Again, my take on Asta is I don't want Asta to be in any way have a special background. I want him to be pretty much a nobody. And if he has any form of special background, I don't want it to in any way lead to him getting magic. I want him to not be able to have magic. I like where he's at, and I want him to keep that kind of like hard work dude, and dude who's like pretty much catching up with all these talented people just through sheer hard work, effort, and teamwork with his comrades. Definitely don't want that ruined for Black Clover. That's one of the I think the most defining aspects of Black Clover. Because that was the thing in Naruto, and then Naruto, I do think Naruto had its overall story kind of hurt a little bit when it was revealed Naruto was a reincarnation of one of the sage's kids, and he was always destined to pretty much be great. And then he had the Hokage. He was the Hokage son, which we always got, but then like the Uzumaki, like just general large chakra pool, a lot of stuff that kind of made it seem more like he was gonna just get really nice things. And it just seemed like he was going to get him regardless. I don't know. Just my opinion. One second. Nero's Asta's mom. Again, I don't know how I feel about that. It'd be really weird. I think it'd be really weird. Zach, please don't make this awkward anymore. I mean, he could. I'm hoping it's not. I think Nero said that she was a bird. She's a bird for 500 years, just kind of floating around doing bird shit. That'd be weird. Like, do you think that she stayed in bird form the whole time? Like, she didn't, like, turn into her normal self and, like, when she was off doing stuff and just have some relaxation? Or she was literally just bird form for 500 straight years? I feel like that would be really uncomfortable. Nero's backstory must be interesting. Yes, definitely. Because it's not only she's going to have ties into the Wizard King. She obviously knows how he... So I don't think we ever got confirmation of the fact, because we know that he was apparently sealed up because he was hurt and near death. And you could see the wound on his chest in the panel when he kind of just moving around as a statue. So I don't know if it's going to be maybe with the demon, or if it's something happened that after. That could be a whole new bad guy showing up, a whole new enemy faction. There's a lot of things that can happen, a lot of big things, because I talked about the possibility of there being other demons that show up, and maybe they're in a group similar to something like the Akatsuki, and maybe after the first Wizard King defeated that big demon, maybe they all came after him, and he got in a bad situation. Definitely gonna have a lot coming up forward. Hyped as hell about a lot of the things that Tabata's laying out, because again, that he has a lot of things like prepped up and ready, and it's gonna be pretty sick to see what exactly he's gonna be dropping going forward. What is he gonna have? What does he have already laid out that we don't know about? What does he have that we haven't been able to really pick up on? Or what is he laid out that is existent, but we haven't seen it get resolved, or to really see where it ends up? There's a whole lot there that we could really see moving forward. How'd you feel about Toga last My Hero Academia chapter? I thought it was interesting. Toga had a pretty good backstory, not too great, but pretty interesting. I did like the way that she's like takes on other people's powers, but I liked it way more when she was like part her face and part their face, and it was like melting between them. And again, I felt in a hysterical sense at the point when I realized that she's better with Ochako. I can't remember how to pronounce her name. I just call a lot of people in My Hero Academia by their superhero names. Aravity. She handled her quirk better than the actual person did. I'm like, how does this happen? Because like, she doesn't need to kill people. Aravity could literally just touch people, zero gravity amount, and have them float there, and then people can restrain them. But she's never. She gets trained, and yet, and yet she somehow is not capable of anything. I don't know. Maybe in the future. I've always been really salty about that, because she's got a really good power, but she never really handles it very well. She doesn't really ever do much. And yet you have Toga, who uses it for all of like 2 pages, and then it's, grabbing and zero grabbing people left and right. Because what is her limit? Like 2 tons? Like, she can lift a lot of people. That's what, 4,000 pounds. She could take on so many people. And yet, she doesn't. I don't know. Your thoughts on the Night King? Oh, as Game of Thrones? He's intimidating. He's cool. The thing about him, I think, is actually kind of cool, is he doesn't talk, and we don't really see anything other about him than other just being this intimidating force. But they never really talk about the White Walkers as anything other than the dead, and that's kind of cool about it. Is they're not really represented as a faction; they're represented as just the living dead, and that's kind of the thing about death, is it doesn't need to have a personality. It literally just has to be a terrifying force, and it's just that act of raw, kind of like terror that's uniting all these people under one banner to fight back at them. Definitely pretty cool. I like it. I like that a lot. I think it's pretty fun. Definitely really interesting. Do you read or watch Bungo Stray Dogs? I've been recommended to it. I haven't gotten to it yet. If Asta transformed his full form, do you think that he can defeat 4th gear Luffy Snake Man? I mean, he's faster, but he's not powerful enough. He's definitely faster, but we haven't seen anything big. The thing right now about Black Clover is we've only seen, like, in power levels wise, we haven't seen a lot of what people's outputs are, like, other than, like, Julius and, like, Charged Up Patri. We're obviously going to get to see what, like, big characters are like moving into this. Like, I completely expect, like the first Wizard King to be able to drop spells, like Patri's, like, what was it, the light arrows of judgment, his big huge one that was like over the whole capital. I expect him to be able to drop those where it's like not a ton of effort for him, and that'll just be like straight like raw damage. I'm super stoked to see that whole played out, because a lot of the characters we see usually with like pretty decent levels of power, but a lot of them have pretty much everybody has a hack spell. So they're able to, work in there and set up for, getting them in the right position in their crosshairs to drop some really, really damaging ability that, it doesn't matter if it's power level wise, it's a hack thing. Obviously the best example is Yami's Dimension Slash. You cut someone with that. Unless they already somehow have Dimension Blade withstanding, like, showings already, they're going to get cut. My Hero Academia chapter, it was good. I liked it. I thought it was pretty fun. I like Toga. I've always thought she was a cool character, and they had a good job of laying out her insanity, but also making her very understandable. Well, obviously at the same time she's a crazy ass bitch, but still making her interesting, and she holds a lot of potential moving forward. And I did think it was kind of funny that, like, in one chapter, she was more interesting than Shigaraki. Like, Bad Touch, I just don't find him interesting. But obviously, he's been made out to be kind of a loser villain this whole time, and this is where he's supposed to turn it around. So my opinion of him will probably, more than likely, I'm guessing, change after this arc. And I don't think it'll be that long, because they had 5. I think it was Redestro and 4 other guys, and they just beat whatever her name is, Miss Curious, but still. One second. Anyway, Kimetsu, it's awesome. It is fantastic. Oh god damn it! I lost my place. Hold on. I know where I was. I'll find it. 1 second. There we go. How fast do you think 4th gear Luffy Snake Mesa compares to Ichigo and True Bankai? Maybe like, I don't know. I had to think. Ichigo is definitely faster. I mean, the thing about One Piece has some of the most inconsistent speeds, because you'll have these guys like dodging all these like crazy attacks at high speeds, moving around like Dressrosa. Like, Luffy punched Doflamingo and he was like miles away instantaneously, but then like but then people are getting hit by bullets, and Luffy and Zoro getting outran by that horse chick who's running like 200 miles an hour, and you're like, how is that happening? I just don't think I don't think a lot of mangaka pay attention to, feat stuff for speed consistency wise, at least. But definitely was One Piece is definitely one of those ones that, like, speed is not very consistent at all. Bleach has always seemed faster than One Piece, though, so I'd put it on them. You think Vito and Fauna are gonna? Oh, god damn it! Oh, they're okay. I didn't lose it. They're gonna fight. Gonna go help Patri fight the demon because he'll be mad about being tricked. Oh, they can't do shit because other than that energy beam that actually they couldn't even do that because the big monster, like, it like melts magic and like consumes it. So that's one of the things about it I think is curious, because it melts magic, and maybe the creature, maybe it has some form of connection with the anti-magic demon, and why exactly it pretty much cancels magic. Well, this thing melts it. And I'm very curious to where we're gonna see that really play into that, because we don't know what it's like in this other dimension. We've only seen one creature from it, and it's already this much of a horrifying threat. So what are we gonna really see moving beyond it? Like, what other creatures? Because he said that he did a little bit, like, so we don't know, like, is this thing a small fry for them? Because that's one of the things I like about I do like about Black Clover, is that even though we had, like, captains, like, these guys are so powerful, look how strong they are, but it seems like they were strong compared to each other, but in the grand scheme of things, like, there's all these forces out that have absolutely zero ideas of what's going on. 1 second. Anyway, back to it. How do you think? How do you think that we'll have to wait before next Gambler's Prayer comes out? I don't know. We're like 6 chapters behind. It looks like Jimenez Box isn't translating it anymore. And so I follow the guy on Twitter, and it looks like Gambler's Parade is doing pretty well in Japan. Obviously, it's got a big name behind it. The dude who does Danganronpa, obviously, he's got a lot of fans. And the artist, oh my god, Nakayama. I have to double check his name, but I've always enjoyed that dude's art. I really liked Orataro, Nejimaki Kagyu, and definitely enjoying Gambler's Parade. So I definitely am gonna buy official volumes if they come to the States, and at that point, maybe we'll be able to get a licensed one where we'll get, like, weekly chapters translated like they do Eden Zero. I'm hoping that they're going to eventually, because I think they have their own website now that does simultaneous release. I haven't checked this since then. I just saw something on Twitter. But I'm hoping that they get an app similar to what Shonen Jump has. Because, again, I'm perfectly fine supporting official release. I buy all the Fairy Tail chapters that come out. They're only, like, 100 Years Quest is, like, 70 cents a chapter, and then, like, the Happy spinoff and City Hero are each, like, 50 cents a chapter. So again, I'm perfectly fine with doing official release purchases. I just don't want to wait all the way until a volume comes out that I'm going to buy anyway. So I'll read, like, if they start doing they do a similar thing to Shonen Jump, or Viz, I guess, rather, where they do a subscription service, and then you could read all their stuff, with simultaneous release. I'll 100% jump on board with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with supporting the creators, because the thing about manga creators versus, unfortunately, a lot of Western comic creators now is the Japanese they're very appreciative of their fans, which is very nice. And I like Amber's Parade. I would 100% buy every chapter that comes out. What am I going to spend? That's like 50 cents a week on that alone. So it's like, oh well, that's not a big deal. Or a subscription-based thing. So definitely want it. I need it. How come you don't like Luffy or Nami? Nami, I don't have a negative or positive opinion of Nami. She's always just kind of been there, and then now she's pretty much a GPS map. Luffy, I haven't really liked since the time skip because Luffy kind of ditched all of the Straw Hats ditched their development after Fishman Island. They all reverted. Like Sanji just became a background character. I don't know what happened with him. Zoro literally just became I'm a tough badass. He lost like everything else to his character. Luffy lost like any kind of like development he got from Ace dying, gone. He like he talked about like I'm not gonna let any of my friends die. I'm gonna I strive now to protect my crew. But he immediately challenges Big Mom, pisses her off, and then he ditches them. He literally ditches his crew, right, that were being chased by a pissed off, bloodlusted, psychotic Big Mom to go fight Katakuri for the sake of, proving his strength. And I'm just like, why? You're now putting your crew could be dying right now, and you'd rather fight somebody strong just to show your improvement? Like, dude, what are you doing? They could easily end up dead. I just don't like post-time skip Luffy. I haven't really liked a lot of post-time skip One Piece. And then, like, Luffy, the thing about Luffy I like the most is that he was like an improv fighter. Used his rubbery body. He would, like, when his fight with Enel, and he's like, oh, this dude's reading my mind, and he just starts punching the wall so all his attacks fly back at random. But now, like, Bound Man was literally just punch harder, blow air to my fist and punch harder. I liked Snake Man a bit more because Snake Man is more of kind of like the weird Luffy fighting. I think Luffy's lost a lot of the charm that he had beforehand, and I don't know. Now he just kind of feels like he's just going along with the motions from Oda. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Not sure if I asked this already, but if Jalal never hooks up with Urza for whatever reason, will she just remain single? Probably. The thing about Urza is she 100% only has feelings for Jalal. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like, if you look back at like the last Christmas chapter when they were pretty much getting drunk and playing games, and Urza had to walk home naked. She doesn't give a shit about anybody else seeing her naked because she sees everybody else as just like a buddy and like close comrade, pretty much family. But Jalal is whispered to be within the town, and she gets all embarrassed. I think her relationship with Jalal is probably the best part about Urza's character, because she stops being this like badass, powerful chick, and she becomes a vulnerable, like, love-struck girl who doesn't know how to handle the situation as well, gets very nervous. And I always thought that was a really interesting part to see about her character, just to see her, 180 only from this one guy, and knowing their past. I thought it's just such a good aspect of their character. You just know what led up to that moment. It's not just like, oh yeah, she's always had a thing for that guy. You just know the complex and complicated story behind them. And really, it's just such an interesting tale of Urza and Jalal, and I'm hoping that eventually they get together. I feel like I don't think that there's any way that Mishima could fuck over Jalal so bad to end that. Like, when he eventually ends the series, there's no way he's gonna just let Jalal just walk around and never get Urza in the end. That'll just be so sad for the guy, Jesus, Shiki's gonna rock Drakken Joe hard. No way, he's not gonna rock him. This is gonna be Shiki's big fight. This is gonna be his first big fight where he's gonna struggle and he's gonna have to really overcome a lot of stuff. Maybe have that big like, I can't stop fighting now. You gotta stand up and keep fighting. Push, limit break, and really progress forward. Maybe a team fight, and I really want to have just that big battle, because when Rave Master, you had his real fight with Shuda on top. What was the ship they were on? It was like the Rhapsody something. I'd have to double check. Natsu versus Gagio, and it looks like it might be Shiki and Drakken Joe. Definitely gonna be good. Like, Drakken Joe has a really intimidating presence to him as well, so it definitely will hold up. Definitely will hold up for that, as long as Hiroshima just decide to waste this character. I think Drakken Joe is going to give Shiki as bad of a beatdown as Laxus did with Natsu. Yeah, probably. I think it's going to be somewhere between that and Natsu versus Gagio, where he's going to be... it's going to be a big battle, but there's obviously going to be a gap between them. And it's going to be like, he's stronger, but it's not so apparent. But it's going to be Shiki having to overcome, maybe enter that cool ether gear weird state that he had when he used Gravity Comet against Elsie. Maybe use that and stay in it longer. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll see how exactly how he'll go about beating him. Definitely going to be pretty cool to see how that goes down. I've got a lot of hopes on Drakken Joe. Have you watched the new Attack on Titan episode? No, I haven't watched the anime. I read the manga, but I haven't watched the anime. It looks like the animation's pretty solid this season. I always see like clips and stuff. They go pretty heavy on Attack on Titan animation. I always get salty. Fairy Tail animation I always get salty when I like it's like when I watch Kimetsu no Yaiba and I'm just like, yes, dude, this animation looks great, and then I remember like Fairy Tail's anime and Black Clover's anime and like their status, and I'm just like, God damn it, motherfucker, what do you guys do this? It's so hurtful. But at the same time, it's like I'm happy that the other series are doing well, but at the same time, I'm just like, I'm jelly, pretty heavy jelly. As long as the animation team makes some of the bigger fights well animated, then I don't care. As long as there's some good gift material and some cool moments to rewatch the fight scenes on YouTube at some point after, I'll be pretty happy. It doesn't have to be like huge, but I don't want it to be. And also make the fight with Acnologia longer. Definitely make that longer. What do you think? What do you look for in a power system? I don't know. Just as long as it makes sense. As long as it's laid out and makes sense, and you could kind of like gauge different aspects of it, then yeah, that's pretty much it. If Nero has asked his mother, would it be weird seeing how she messes him all the time? Yeah, I don't want that to happen. That'll be super weird. Super weird. I'm going to stay with the United States of Smash. I'm going to say this, but United States of Smash was cool, but All Might versus All for One is boring to me. Well, yeah, it was just like, I'm going to punch you. You're not going to punch me. Well, I'm going to punch you again. Well, no, you're not. I mean, obviously, United States of Smash is cool because the music was solid, the animation was solid. It was a really cool moment for All Might. And it was just an all-around pretty awesome scene. But obviously, yeah, the fight itself wasn't great. But god damn it, just thinking back to the Crunchyroll Awards, the fact that won Fight of the Year, and it wasn't that Naruto fight, or I guess Boruto fight. But it's just like, how? Who was voting in that? So confusing. So confusing. I don't know. So just goofy. This my Jamie's character was very good. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was pretty solid. I'm liking the villain arc in Macadamia. When people say that Naruto wouldn't be half as strong without the Nine-Tails, somehow I feel offended by it. I mean, my favorite point of Naruto was when he was rolling around in Sage mode. And then, I like the cool gold outfit, and he was using all those fancy new Rasengans. Wasn't a huge fan of when he went into the Biju cloak, just because he pretty much just threw around Biju bombs. And again, that's just my opinion. I just liked all the really cool creative Rasengans. Like, he had those cool chakra tail claws that were making Rasen shurikens, mini ones, and making big ass ones on his back, grabbing them, slamming into him. There's a lot of cool stuff there. I really liked that. I enjoyed that a lot. But yeah, that scene, I think my favorite parts with Naruto was in Sage mode for sure. Just because that scene was such a cool moment, because then you had all these people seeing Naruto save their asses after being a dick to him for his whole life. Hold on. God damn it. People are poking at me right now. I'll get back to it. Seacart had a connection to Ellie, and Joel had a connection with Urza. Do you think Justice will have a connection to someone important? Potentially. I think it would be interesting if he was somehow connected to Wise. I guess it couldn't. Well, he could, because he could somehow be his grandson? Because we still have weird time travel stuff. I don't know. I don't want it to be the same kind of style. Maybe he looked up to him, but now he sees what he was like in his youth as kind of this scummy dude. I like Justice. I'm very much wanting to see what his ether gear is like. My Academia is all right. Toga's just gonna power up out of nowhere. Didn't they mention before that she can use quirks of the people that she's turned into? I swear that that was mentioned beforehand. That's what I was saying. Like I saw people talking about like she kind of got it out of nowhere, and I'm just like I feel like it was mentioned. I swear, because I thought that's what she could do before this chapter, and then like people are saying like some people are saying like it's not. I'd have to go back and read, but I swear. Oh, hang on. One second. Anyway, back to it. Sorry, I get distracted. I apologize. What if Nero is an angel, archangel, possibly a hybrid, and is how Tabata introduces the series? I don't know. I feel like she's gonna have something to do with the Black Clover grimoires. Obviously, the thing is that her feathery dress and the fact that the Witch Queen clearly knows her to some degree makes me think that she is a witch of some kind, and maybe, or at least had a witch body, and maybe a demon took over her body, or it's something similar to Asta. Because the thing about it is, a lot of the times he gets super serious, and he gets like really fired up. He gets like the demon eye. He gets the similar of that eye that he has when he's in his anti-magic form, and he gets a fang. So it seems like not only is he able to enter that state, that it's also affecting his body in the long run. Maybe the reason Nero found Asta is because he trained inside the demon skull because he was probably guarding it, and she's like, yeah, maybe that'd be a really good actually idea. That's a really good point, Undefined Top Hat. I might talk about that in a video. That's actually a really good point. Because if she was there, she might have seen him at some point. And this dude who works really hard doesn't have magic. That's actually that's a good point. You might have something there. That's actually legit. You might actually have something there. Scratching my chin now, because now I'm wondering that could be a really good plot way to explain how Nero, or even how the grimoire got to Asta in the first place. Maybe it was influenced by Nero, and Nero knew of Asta beforehand. My phone is about to die because Dad stole my charger on my permission. Oh, that sucks. I went and bought another charger just in case, because one of mine, I had two, and one of mine was starting to get a little shaky, and I don't know if it was the cord or the charger head, so I went and got another one. And I wanted to get one that was like $20, but it was like $35. I was a little salted about that. And I got annoyed because I was talking to the guy about it when I was buying it, and I just wanted it to be like a just in case backup charger in case the one I have right now just like fucks up and breaks. And he's just like, you could go to a convenience store if you want something kind of like cheaper and less reliable. It's like, you cheeky dick. It was pretty good stuff, though. It's pretty hilarious. Oh my god, I keep almost getting caught up. When the Inzer's anime comes out, do you think they'll have their own victory theme like Dragon Force OST? Yeah, definitely. Oh, I hope it's more space-like. I'm hoping... Oh my god, what is that? There's an instrument. It's really weird, and you hear it in a lot of like old horror, like I guess space horror movies. Oh my god, I forgot what it's called. It's like a table with like a electric like coil on it, and you literally like run your fingers over an area, and it makes like this weird ass sound. I'd have to look it up. I looked into getting it at one point because it looks easy to play, but also really interesting to play. And I really want to have music in my videos, but I always fear of getting like copyright claims and shit. So I'm wondering if I should get like a song and then just slightly change it so I can have it playing in the background, or if I should just learn how to make my own music. I don't want it to be like, I don't expect it to be like some big ass like long song. I'd want like a 10-second like enjoyable in the background song, just on repeat or something, or just like Game Boy Zelda like music or something, or it's just some nice little pixelated sounds, you know. Eventually I'll figure that out, because we're getting there. 6 subs away from 1,000, so hopefully I can maybe when I start actually making money off my channel, I can pay someone to make me a song or something. It's always a possibility. It's always something to look for. Eventually, maybe. I gotta catch up. Toga's thirsty. Toga's literally thirsty. Literally thirsty for people. The fact that Ass is teaming up with several of the people to fight Droid and Lufel, and how much stronger. Wait, the fact that oh yeah, Asta. I like to ask us to team up a lot. I always thought that was really good. A really good way to kind of like not make him seem OP. It's really of like what kind of OP combo his team can form. Do you think Jesse is in over his head with taking out Elsie? No, he seems pretty smart. Unless Elsie figured it out, that he's fucked. The thing we don't know a lot about Elsie yet. We don't know her backstory, her personality. Well, we know her personality. Sorry, we don't know her backstory. We don't know her capabilities, other than that she's very powerful. Clearly, very demanding. So we're definitely gonna see exactly how it goes. It wouldn't surprise me if it turns out that she knows and she's just been playing him, maybe to find out information on Gia. You're gonna go soon, Jared Punch. Oh, I'm gonna keep streaming for probably another 15-20 minutes, and then get ready for Game of Thrones. Definitely excited for Game of Thrones. Gonna be hella fun. Shiki versus Alabasta Luffy. Definitely Shiki. Way more mobile, gravity manipulation OP, and probably be able just to punch the dude into the ground. What role do you think Jesse will play in Eden Zero's story? Again, it's a little bit hard. I don't really know, because we haven't seen really anything about him. We just know that he's obviously like a undercover agent. Do you think that Nero was a bird for the whole 500 years because she was hiding from the devil? I think that maybe... I feel like it maybe had something to do with maybe not being detected, because if there are other 5-leaf grimoire users and maybe other demons out there, because again, I feel like there's going to be more demons, and there's going to be a group of them, and maybe she was avoiding being found out by some of them, because it seems like her seal magic might have something pretty important in the long run of things. I think that she sealed the demon that attacked the first Wizard King, put it inside like grimoire, and that's why it didn't disappear, because his demon soul in it. Maybe. So that's again another thing. It's like I feel like the reason she was hiding is maybe because of a bigger threat out there that we haven't seen yet. Have you heard of the series We Never Learn? I have. I never checked it out. I've never messed with too many rom-coms and like shonen harems. The thing about a lot of like harems is a lot of them don't progress. Like a lot of the time, the main character never picks a chick, and it kind of ends ambiguous. Like if I'm gonna get into a harem, like why would I not get something like pretty lewd? Because that's, I mean, you're going it for some weird like big group relationship kind of stuff, and unless it's something pretty lewd, like what are you doing? Or is this gonna be like cute people doing cute stuff? Then One second. I'm hoping to catch up before it gets too far. Biggest mistake Oda made in One Piece introducing hockey system. Yes, I 100% agree. I've always agreed that I don't like the hockey, armament hockey. It looks stupid the way that you just like have black limbs, and it's not like if it was one character, it'd be different. Because like the original theory, I think a lot of people had was that Luffy was using heat from second gear pretty much for vulcanization. Kind of like how rubber turns into hardened like a bowling ball, and obviously hitting harder, which was cool. But then like everyone has it, and it looks, a lot of the characters look, I don't think we've seen any characters actually that like full body hockey, and they just look silly. They just look, you're a pitched black dude with like some weird ass outfit on. It just looks kind of goofy. And then they always end up getting one shot. And now it's like, oh, we have invisible hockey now. So it's like, okay, why are these other guys using normal hockey then? What's the purpose? Why isn't that all these apparent hockey masters have been showing boring ass old hockey then. But and then like observation hockey is absurdly inconsistent. It can like some can see through walls, some can like read minds and like predict the future. It's stupid. It should have just been the Conquerors hockey, and it should have just been a special trait. It shouldn't have been like. I don't like hockey. I feel like Oda just brought in hockey to pretty much make it so they don't have to figure out a special way to beat Logia users anymore. And it's just like, why? That was the interesting thing about when they fight a Logia user is they're like, okay, we need to figure out what exactly is the counter to this person. We got to figure out what exactly we need to pull here in order to see through what they're going to be doing, and yet didn't. And again, I don't understand why the hell they wouldn't. Oh, I got to do my fairy tale prediction video after this one. I'll probably do it right before I watch Game of Thrones. How's it going, Duke Yonkos? How's it going, dude? How you been? Favorite Luffy transformation? Either second gear or Snake Man. Probably second gear. I like second gear. Second gear is really cool. Shiki needs that demon form that he had earlier with fake. I was like, I don't think it was a demon. It looked more like like the wings on its head. It made me think more of like a sprite or something. I wonder if Jack and Joe will live up to planetary. I don't think so. I feel like that was just an exaggeration. I feel like planet level like already would be ridiculous for a lot of the characters. Like super weapons are different, but to be in just one character already, that'd be jumping literal huge guns. I'm much more hoping that, like I've said a couple times, my hope for a lot of Eden Zero is like power levels themselves will be pretty well contained, but it's going to be more of like what your ship and fleet is capable of. What kind of like special weapons do you guys got going on in the back? Like more of like your supply rather than what you're directly capable of. That's just what I'm hoping for. I don't want it to power creep, like jump up planet level. But I don't think that the Eden Zero planets are actually planet size like Earth. They look more like countries because they don't look big. They look of decent size, but they definitely don't look like Earth size. A lot of them look pretty small. I read that. I would say Jalal was Natsu's first role. No, oh my god, how am I stuttering this much? The Gadgil fight was definitely his first big fight, because that was the first time he really fought somebody that was dead equal with him. Jalal was definitely his first like big fight, like against an overwhelming opponent, but Gadgil was straight up like his equal, and we don't know who would have pulled out if Gadgil didn't, eat metal, gain stamina back, and then Natsu ate fire, and then just put 100% into a final, like, fuck it all, it's this or nothing attack, and ended up winning. Where do you think Spider got the idea for Jamil off Avatar? I think he just he wanted to make a evil-looking character. All the random Leaf Village people who allegedly hated Naruto Kishimoto never showed us. There were a lot of people that just kind of like, because it wasn't like Naruto was getting like chased through the streets with pitchforks. They just like said mean stuff to him and didn't treat him as nicely, because they'd be like, I don't want that fucking weirdo hanging out with my kid. But then like now they're all kissing Naruto's ass. Naruto and Sasuke versus Momoshiki or Momoy. Oh, I don't even need to read the rest of that. Naruto and Sasuke versus Momoshiki was definitely better than Goku and Jiren and All Might versus All for One, definitely. I already read that. Rex, do you watch Dorit's video and Oda's interview? I didn't. Did anything important happen there? In One's Justice, when you play as her, you can use other people's quirks. I remember something in the manga. I swear there's something in the manga that mentions that she can use other people's quirks when she takes their form. One's Justice. Oh, I read that. When I realized that Nero doesn't have a grimoire. Oh, yeah, maybe she's gonna pull one out, or she hasn't gotten one yet. Maybe she had anyone considered she had the 5-leaf grimoire during that time period, and then she just gave it to Asta. Maybe. MH fights are not the best, in my opinion. The My Hero Academia fights that are the most interesting are when it's not, like, I've talked about this a few times. The fights with, like, Bad Touch and Overhaul, they're, like, flashy, but they're not really that interesting of fights, because you know that they can't really get hit because they can't get hit by really anything important because they're going to die because they're like one-shots. But Gentle versus Deku was a really good fight. I thought that was pretty awesome. I'm actually going to watch those anime episodes when they get to it. Definitely interested in watching those ones because that was when like you had like a flexible fight where you could have like attacks hitting all over the place and it wasn't gonna equal out to just hey, I have the ability to pretty much atomically disassemble people, so if I touch Deku, he dies automatically. My Hero Academia characters versus Black Clover characters who would win in a fight. Oh, I like Black Clover more, but in a fight, Black Clover would massacre My Hero Academia. That's not even arguable. Like Julius could easily walk through My Hero Academia and kill everybody. When is Eden Zero get its anime? I think it would be... Oh, who's going to voice Pino? I don't know. It would have to be someone like cute voice. I don't know any Japanese voice actors by name. Obviously, it's going to have to be somebody like a little cute voice. Maybe somebody who does like... I can't think of it off the top of my head. It would have to be somebody that like normally voices like little kids. Because Pino's little. So even in the humanoid form she took in Digitalis, she looked like she was maybe like 13 or something. Black Clover. Has anyone else read the web series The Zombie Knight Saga? I've heard of it. I haven't read it. I'm still here. How's it going? Bloody, something that we haven't gotten from Black Clover is OP team composition versus OP team. Well, we got that a bit in the Royal Knight exams. Like there were some pretty good team combos like working together. It's just a lot of the time when it's like an arc, kind of like right now. We usually it's like a big boss character, and then and it's like all these characters have to team up to get them. Because a lot of it right now is a lot of them are in over their head, so they have to team up. There's not a lot of 1v1 fights in Black Clover, which again I think it's cool. I like seeing all the team aspects of it because then it keeps up the idea of the characters being close. You're able to keep all the side characters relevant, but at the same time getting spotlight. It's just good stuff. I like the code of it and the method that it's going by. What's up, Andres? Andres, before you ask, I'm on episode 17 of My Hime rewatching. Just so you know, because I know you're going to ask. I wanted to finish watching it this week, but I keep getting distracted playing Jump Force. I get really annoyed at that game, because the point system for playing ranked is stupid. Hisoka X Toga. Oh, yeah, creepy. I don't know. Hisoka's a weirdie. Are you still doing reviews for Seven Deadly Sins? No. I got really mad at Seven Deadly Sins. I didn't want people just to listen to me being pissed off about, like, the state of the series. And, like, it looks like it's about to end, so I guess it doesn't really matter. And, I don't know. I've been pretty salty about Seven Deadly Sins the last, honestly, since they had, what's his face? Fucking Maelstrom lose to fucking King. Ever since that happened, I've been pretty salty at Seven Deadly Sins. I don't know, I'm hoping, I said it a couple times, I'm hoping Nakaba's next series will be in the same world, but take place in a different country. So where you can have the other characters make cameos and stuff. He brought hockey into probably shoehorn the battle system like every other shonen. I don't like hockey at all. I don't like the idea of it. I thought it was lazy. And I just don't like the look of it. If you could pick All Might or Yami as your real life teacher, who would you pick? I would pick Yami. He's funny. I would pick Yami because the thing about Yami is a big teddy bear and he's like a dick, but he genuinely cares about he cares about his subordinates. And All Might's really cool too, but I just really like Yami a lot. He has that both badass like dude to hang out with, and he would teach you stuff in an aggressive manner to make sure you get it, but not enough to kill you. I don't know, I just like the guy. He's a good dude. Yami's all around likable, and Yami and All Might are legitimately like the two characters in each series that just like everybody who reads it generally dislikes. Like I've never heard anyone say I don't like Yami or I don't like All Might. There's always that character in a series that just everyone likes. When that's never been his thing, because the first power up was interest 300 chapters in. Are you talking about 300 chapters in? Are you talking about One Piece? I don't recommend somebody Yaiba, but isn't it stated the top Demon Slayer can do their breathing technique for one day, or do you think Asta Yuno can hold their forms longer throughout the training? Well, they definitely can't. They'll have to train because Asta's been able to hold it longer. It's it's been like being able to stay in the state, but like so far, every time he uses it, he can only use a technique once before it dissipates. But I'm really hoping he learns to be able to stay in that form longer, or it'll just get generally more powerful, and he'll still have the same timer on it. I don't know. My guess is the planet busting thing referred to as weapon arsenal. I'd like the idea of more of it like his influence. Like he could pretty much take over the like pretty much spread his influence across the planet rather than like destroy a planet. Because we know he pretty much turned Gilst into like a criminal planet. Like he just brought crime there and turned it into like a scummy place when it used to be like just a really beautiful tourist spot. This is my. I'm hoping that's the case. Oh my god, I'm trying so hard to catch up. I'm pretty sure that the ether cannon in the hands of the government. Maybe that would make sense. Say Zoom and Zenkro live. Oh my god, I was actually really wish that there were two things that I really would have changed. I wish that they would have had. Well, one of them is if they didn't change. One of them is definitely Zenkro doesn't die and Zenkro becomes Guildmaster of Grimoire Heart, and then eventually him and Natsu have that rematch. And then Natsu just, in a flat-out fight wins without needing that power-up. That it was a setup for later. It was a setup for bigger fights down the line. And it didn't really matter too much at the time because Zenkro wasn't even that big of a deal in comparison to, like, Blue Note, Ultier, and Hades. But there was one other thing that's, if Laxus never came back and he was in the time skip, if he ran Sabretooth and he became more of, like, a bad guy, that would always have been cool, or maybe more of like a good guy, but like a strict kind of good guy, kind of like Yami. That'd be cool. Black Asta versus Spirit Dive, I would put my money on because even though they seem to be as powerful as each other, can definitely hold the form longer right now. Because, elf power-up shenanigans. I thought it was a process how beat Logia's pretty much played all Devil Fruits. They were all over the place. Weren't Devil Fruit users supposed to be these mystical, magical fruits? But yeah, there's a lot of them out there. They used to be way rarer. It used to be, like, because you remember, like, early One Piece, it was like a crew would have, like, one or two Devil Fruits. I guess it's different. It's definitely different for Yonko because their influence is definitely enough that they could get Devil Fruits. But some of the bigger ones are just like, everyone has a Devil Fruit. Everyone gets one. Natsu was only struggling because he was low on energy to fight with Arya. Well, he wasn't struggling until the point until Gajeel ate until he ate metal, and even in his fight with Totomaru, he only used a couple attacks, and then he didn't use a lot of attacks against Arya either. He just kind of got knocked around a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. Gajeel and him were legit like equal at that point in time. I gotta catch up because Game of Thrones is gonna be soon. Only thing close enough, but we're mostly getting spotlight. And the opening was really cool. Mimosa's a cool chick. Oh my god, how much? Oh, I'm almost caught up. Where is it? Okay, right, Shuriken. Gadget. Okay, that's not to be. All my resistance all for one. It's not the best, but too much fighting. Also, I did not for all the one use more powers. Yeah, I know it's confusing. So the thing is, they changed the ending song though. Black Clover ending 6 is really nice. I really like Black Clover's endings and openings. The fight itself wasn't great, but All Might's speech. Yeah, it was a really good end moment, which is definitely what made this made the fight. Is just that whole end scene with him, both like emotional point for him, his speech, the animation, his attack was cool, the music. It was good. It was a good fight at that last couple seconds, but it didn't deserve to be the best fight of the year for 100%. Like the Naruto fight was the Naruto and Sasuke and Boruto against Momoshiki was literally like 14 minutes of straight fire animation. It was great. How the Shiki will control his Demon King form. I don't want to call it a Demon King form. At least unless it's called that otherwise. It looks more like a sprite. To be fair, My Hero Academia character specialized in team fighting more than pure power. As long as there's an entire army for Black Clover, they will find a way to manage. And it's just different powers. Those books are obviously weak points for Black Clover characters. I mean, we haven't seen any like fuckery with books a lot of the time. I can never hope to hate All Might Origami. Yeah, they're both very likable. Black Clover versus One Piece characters who would win. Black Clover again. Julius is too overpowered for One Piece. They don't have resistances to those kind of hacks. Like, dude can literally just move around and turn people into dust. And then obviously the devil, like the dude is OP as fuck too. I think Aston and at this point in the series can slice him out in half like Jack the Ripper. No, not yet. We're getting there. But we don't know how big that mountain was in the fight or like how long it took. We just know they did it apparently in a couple One Piece characters in badassery. I don't know. I like Black Clover more. Should more characters in Black Clover have transformation like asked it? No, I gotta figure it out because we don't. Is it only gonna be spirit magic or is it gonna be specific magic in general? Zuma would have been the master of Grimoire Heart. He's smarter and stronger than Insane Crow. Yeah, but he's. I feel like his willingness to go against the plan just for fighting is definitely a bad idea to have as your leader. But he's also dead. Poor guy. Luck have a transformation. Definitely looks pretty cool. Oh my god, I'm almost caught up. Almost. The Royal Knights exam was very good. Examples of team fights. Yeah, I really liked that. I thought it was good stuff. Talking about a climactic team battle where team's failure can't be blamed on one member. Yeah, I really liked that whole arc. You and Nuck should collab on a VC video. I don't know if I've ever talked to that guy. I mean, if he wanted to, I'd be fine with it. I'd be perfectly okay with it. I'll do collab videos. I don't mind. I like chatting with people, sharing to. I mean, obviously these streams are a good example of that. Luck 2, yeah, Luck's pretty awesome. Boruto characters is Black Clover characters. Again, I don't think anybody in Boruto can take Julius. Like, Julius, you need special characters to take out Julius. Like, Fairy Tail has a couple, with Zera. Anybody with the Curse of Ankh Salam, Zera, Julius can't do anything to. Anybody that's unaging, Julius can't do shit to, other than, I guess, chronostasis them, but it's not really going to do. And, or people that are just immune to magic. Unless you have something like that, you can't really deal with Julius, unless you're way faster than him. So when do you think Shiki and Homura will have that sparring match? Shiki doesn't want to fight her, because he doesn't want to fight his friends. Leopold and Magna probably a transformation feature. That'd be pretty sick, I'm hoping so as well. My favorite Black Clover opening thus far was opening 6. Definitely 3 was definitely for me. Definitely 3. Who do you think would Shiki be able to control his form? It'll be a while, because we've only seen him enter it once. We don't even know if he did it at will. Or if he just did it because, that overexcitement. Who's your favorite king in anime? Mine is King Sinbad. Oh, that's easy. And that's goddamn King Atem. Goddamn greatest duelist to ever live. You see that dark magician Mahad? Palladium Oracle. Mahad. Beautiful. Black Clover opening 2 really underrated. I like all Black Clover's openings. Openings and endings of Black Clovers are all super solid. How many Wizard Kings would be sniped off the planet by Eclipse One Artemis? Is that the? I'm trying to. So I watched that scene a little bit earlier. I don't remember how big was that attack? It looked big. There was that big explosion in space when. Oh my god! How am I forgetting characters already? I was watching this earlier when she had the big super Kagutsuchi form fly up into space. I mean, we only know 2 Wizard Kings, so we only know Julius, and we don't even know the other guy's name, so I can't really answer that because I don't think they can beat Julius. Naruto and Sasuke can definitely beat Julius. I don't know about that. The thing is that Julius can move. They can use an acceleration of time while also using time fuckery to see the future, and then just accelerate them into dust. You need a special kind to deal with Julius. Probably a no-brainer, but thoughts on Craft Dwarf's overly long analytical triad of Fairy Tail? I haven't watched it. I don't know who that is. Craft Dwarf? I don't know who that is. Leopold needs to power up after this arc. Yeah, Leopold is... It's weird because Leopold always seems like he's about to have a big character boost moment, and then he doesn't. I don't know. He's probably being set up for the future, because if Fuego Leon becomes Wizard King after this arc, I think Leopold will get much more spotlight. Rex Shiki said that they'll have the sparring match after they find Valkyrie. Oh, did I miss something? I might have missed that. Yeah. If they fight, we know I think 2 of Homura's sword forms. I mean, Shiki will probably win. I mean, we haven't really seen Homura's extent though, so it's kind of hard to say. Because we don't know, her strongest attack. We don't know how durable she is. The only thing we've really seen is she seems more She seems more quick to respond than Shiki. She seems to have better reaction timing than he does. Natsu would beat Julius and E&D. Oh yeah, Natsu himself is immune to time fuckery because of the way Zeref made him. Because he just is by default is because of E&D related things. He doesn't need to be in the form because he didn't go into the form until after he pretty much woke up in the middle of Damaria's time stop, and then thought Lucy was dead, and then went into that form. He's able to do it just in regardless. He's immune to time stop or time fuckery because of Zeref made him so. He should be immune to a lot of what Zeref is capable of, or at least have a means to counter things that Zeref could do. Oh god. Okay, I'm not. He broke now. Black Clover Wing 3. That Black Rover is great. I love that one. Naruto and Sasuke are stronger, or as strong as Kaguya, who can move through dimension. Well, she can teleport. She's not like. It's not the same. She can like teleport dimensions, but it's not really gonna matter if he just blaps her with time acceleration or stops her in time and then smacks her. Morris deflected machine gun fire casually. She seems faster and quicker to respond, but durability is a huge thing, and as well as like how maneuverable Shiki is as well. But Nozzle will become Wizard King, and then his father will become the king. It's between Nozzle and Fuego Leon for sure for next Wizard King, definitely. King Sinbad turns into God, and all of his forms are cool. I didn't like the fact he turns into God, but I do think his forms are cool. My favorite king is definitely Yugi, though. Yugi, Yugi / Atem, because Yugi's the reincarnation of Atem. But Atem definitely. And then I guess if you count Jaden, but Jaden's Supreme King stuff wasn't as long running. It's just part of him. Natsu versus Grimmjow. Natsu would body Grimmjow. Sometimes think that Nozzle should be Wizard. Yeah, it's definitely going to be between Nozzle and Fuego Leon. The demon might clap Natsu. No, he wouldn't. Natsu's fire is too powerful because even if you look at right now, Natsu's fire would burn out any magic attacks, but any physical attacks like the swords would just melt. And then he literally just kill the dude just by being there. Do you think we'll forget Julius? How do you manage to forget that? I don't. I'm a little embarrassed that I'm forgetting. Yeah, the Golden Lightning, the big space laser, because I kept calling her Moon Loli because of that scene when you see her and her hair glows in the back of the moonlight. I kept calling her Moon Loli, and I was trying to remember what it was. I remember it was something lightning, and then the chick had to fly up and destroy it. I might have to rewatch that scene. Because the last episode I watched, they were all partying, and then that one chick was just getting shit. She was getting shit-faced drunk when everyone else was just like, let's do karaoke and, have food. And that other chick was just like, I'm going to get super hammered. I thought that was pretty funny. And do you think that Shiki will do the same thing as Fujitora in the series? I don't know, because his seems more like he's applying it around him rather than in specific, distance. I had a character that did a similar kind of style in a story I was working on. So I'm hoping Shiki becomes more mobile and more mobility-based than power-based, personally. I don't want him to do power creep stuff too much. Shiki said that he'll spar with him more after they find Valkyrie, so they will. Yeah, I must have missed that part. I'll have to go back and check. Shiki versus Fujitora. Well, Fujitora's way stronger than Shiki is right now. I think Naruto would kill Sasuke when he was evil. If you were Naruto, would you kill Sasuke when he's evil? Well, no, because then you'd have that same kind of idea that Sasuke was. It would have to be me, I would have to be in the role as the main character. I'd be like, if I was Naruto and take away all aspects of Naruto, you replace literally everything about him with me, but I'm super powerful. I'd just be like, fuck that dude. He betrayed us. Let's kill his ass. He's a traitor. We shouldn't trust him. Obviously, I would be in the wrong because eventually Sasuke becomes one of their best allies. But damn, best duel from the original series. It's between Yugi against Kaiba in Battle City and Yugi and Kaiba versus Darts. Definitely, love those ones. Please don't. Plus, I don't see Julius beating Madara, especially since Madara has Limbo clones and Julius can't see those. Was that in the anime? Because I don't remember out in the manga. I know that they had that in the anime. I'd have to go back and check because that obviously, yeah, that is different. But I feel like that's just an animation. Fast and Shogun's protagonist you're familiar with? For me to teach. Oh, it's Fastest. I think Saint Seiya. It's either Saint Seiya or Yugi. But Yugi's is different because Yugi is If you don't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh, Yugi's literally a god. Like, and he can control. He's got the character that pretty much that made their whole multiverse like at his back that he could just summon. Her name's Horikiri, and Yugi also has surpassed infinity. So I feel like I don't think there's a shonen like main character stronger than Yugi. Like Yu-Gi-Oh is ridiculously powerful. Does Julius Magic even work on androids? Like, oh, it should work because it worked on trees. So anything that ages, it should work on. If you had to pick, though, would you pick Sinbad or Yugi based on power? Yugi's absurdly more powerful than Sinbad, 100%. Yugi's multiversal, can control time, space, and fate, and he's exceeded infinity. Seeing how strong Mishima made his characters Fairy Tail and Rave Master, I can definitely see him having planet-level threats like Echnologia and Zero. Yeah, but what I'm hoping is that it's more of weaponry rather than individuals. I just think that would make it much more of like a space-themed, like space battles, because it would, it's different, like, I can't really say, like, because Rave Master was just like a big jumbled up of different things. Fairy Tail was obviously much more of like fantasy adventure style. And then Eden Zero is like a sci-fi adventure exploration. And that's just what I think. I would like to see more of it being like more big power stuff to be more on weapons and inventions, or maybe like super aliens you find on planets that you like keep in a cage you drop on to go attack. Do I play Sekiro? I am stuck at the Corrupted Monk, the actual form. I'm stuck at that part. I need to get back to it soon. I know shit about Yu-Gi-Oh, so learning Yu-Gi is basically gone as a bombshell. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Originally, it got way crazier because all of them also scale off. Yu-Gi is still the top dog, and they do crazy stuff every season. The second main character could fuse all the dimensions. So the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Universe has 11 dimensions that like parallel to it, and each of them are the size of a universe, and the second main character could fuse them all together. The third main character could blow up stars by summoning creatures. The fourth one literally had... it pretty much was the Infinity Gauntlet. He had a pretty much called a Numeron code, which was the binary code of all existence in his universe. So he could literally change anything that ever happened or will happen in his universe. The fifth main character was a fragment of a dude who made himself into a god, and him existing was pulling universes into each other. And I'm not caught up on the current one, so I don't know what the current one's doing. Dude, if you do a Sekiro live stream, you guys are just going to hear me swear and get really annoyed. I'm gonna get salty. The chronophage is cool, but the chronophage isn't power level. It seems more of a mass and time fuckery. Do you think there'll be a Star Wars reference in Zero? Hopefully, that'd be cool. First destruction levels like country and planet levels should have by super weapons. Yeah, that's just it just feels different because a lot of the big outside of huge characters in Fairy Tail, a lot of the big stuff are like weapons and like forbidden spells and stuff. Okay, it looks like I'm caught up. Wait, do you think the Asta might be a dwarf and dwarf created Lick Sword? Maybe. That's obviously a theory running there. Nalu or Gruvia? I like Natsu and Lucy more. I think they just have obviously a lot more going on for them. Orax, they introduced their ether gun and destroyed a planet. Yeah, I know. I'm wondering how big those planets are. I'm still trying to figure out because they don't look planet-sized. Thing is, if characters start blowing up planets, how would they breathe? Yeah. That's like the problem with like if you start getting a series where like you're gonna be blowing up planets all the time, you need to have characters be able to breathe in space, or you're gonna end up like Dragon Ball, where they're just like, hey, we're on this planet forever, but we don't end up blowing it up for some reason because who knows why. Even though these characters should casually be able to blow up planets, they're not gonna, because then they won't survive in the vacuum of space. Silly. Thoughts on Lucy X Loki? Never gonna happen. Loki just needs to get up with Ares like he should have. Anyway, I'm gonna end the stream. 5 minutes, and Game of Thrones should be out. I'm gonna do a video, my prediction video on the next Fairy Tail chapter. You know, I can't believe I forgot. So I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna do that and upload it, and then watch the new Game of Thrones episode. But other than that, what do you guys? I'm hoping you guys, if you haven't yet, thumbs up the stream. Subscribe if you haven't. I'm 6 subscribers away from 1,000. Gonna be awesome. Oh god, so many questions are coming in right at the last second. Or we're 5 minutes get dragged into 5 hours. Yeah. Oh, that's like I've always thought that was more of like because characters are moving at high speeds versus like 5 minutes to them might feel like an eternity, you know, if they're moving at absurd speeds. If you're Boruto, what would you do differently? I'd learn my own fucking techniques instead of just copying other people's. That's one of those things in Naruto I feel like you just wanted to do is you'd want to make your own technique. You definitely just want to have your own brand of jutsu. You want to figure out something that it's like unique to you. Oh god. So many things. Maybe you can convert another space auction. Yeah, maybe. Hey Rex, do you think that Noelle rank among all Jump main females top 5? She's definitely, I feel like top 5 is legit because she's like super competent. She's got a lot of good character development. She's relevant. She's really likable. She's got cool design, cool powers. I like Noelle a lot. I mean, Noelle's definitely one of the better ones, especially Shonen. At least Shonen Jump for sure. They're going to often Licks. I think they're going way after than Lixlight, maybe. I think the arc will see other Seis. Yeah, I'm wondering if we're gonna. I still think Valkyrie's gonna be one of the Erasion Seis Galactica. Still have that. But have a good night. Yeah, I hope you guys all have a good night as well. Hope you do good on your exams, Jared Punch. Because Dark Patriot's moves are faster and stronger than regular Patriot. Yeah, the weird demon light. Noelle's best girl. She is. Anyway, other than that, I really appreciate if you guys again haven't yet subscribe, check out one of their videos, thumbs up the stream, and other than that, I hope you guys have a good week, good weekend. We still have a couple hours left in the weekend before we go back to Monday, and really appreciate everyone who showed out tonight, and see you guys later.